Rule number one of being a man is accountability. Accountability. Check this out, man. Check this out. It is not a woman's job to see to it that the future of Black America is bright, is sunny, is vibrant and plentiful. Even though, of course, the Black women have a role in that. Of course, no doubt. But it's not her primary job. That responsibility falls primarily on the Black man, as it should. And every other community is the same. And in the white community, the white woman is not primarily responsible for the future of white people. Same is true in the Hispanic community, any community, Jewish, whoever it might be, the people primarily responsible for the future of that group are the men. Why? Because men are the de facto leaders of that community. So why do I say this? I say this because it is a shame. It is a shame. There are certain Black women who feel that in order for them to be successful in the dating market, that they need to get out of a place like LA. LA is a place with a rich history of like powerful Black people, right? There's a lot of Black people, powerful Black people in LA. And listen, I'm not going to start this out on some weird note here. Okay. I understand that still the majority of Black men, okay, 85% approximately, who are going to get married in 2024 are going to marry Black women, no doubt. Approximately 90% of Black women who are going to get married this year are going to get married to Black men, no doubt. At least that's what the numbers say. Now, when I go outside, and again, we're talking about throughout the United States of America. Now, I live in California, not LA, but I live in Cali. When I go outside, I don't see those numbers. Outside the hood, I see something quite different. Outside the hood, I see the majority of not just Black men, but also Black women who are in relationships are in them with non-Black people. That's what I see when I go outside. As a matter of fact, I was just in Target the other day, and man, I'm talking about, I saw an attractive young Black woman. Okay. And I don't just call any type of woman attractive. Okay. An attractive young woman pushing a cart with a little baby, right? Little light-skinned baby. And next to her was a white man with tattoos literally all over his face, long hair, tattoos all over his face. He looked bummy. He didn't. It wasn't like he didn't look like he looked bummy. See, can we be honest? Can we be honest about this? Yeah, let's be honest. Let's put this in perspective. See, when have you ever in your life seen a top tier non-black woman, a top tier Latina, top tier, white woman? Let's say a 9 or a 10. Let's say a 10, okay? With a broke black dude, with a dusty looking black dude, with a black dude who did not look like he had some level of means. You don't see that. But the opposite of that is true. When you see, you have seen, I know I'm not the only person in California who has seen this, where you see beautiful, young, childless black women in relationships with bummy looking non-black men, super average. Like you say to yourself, damn, would a woman who looks that good even give a black man with that same profile the time of day? In most instances, the answer is no. What does this say? This is saying to me that black people have work to do. Is there a pedestalization of non-blackness inside of the black community? And I would be lying. I would be less than solid if I said the answer to that is no. The answer is yes. The answer is clearly yes. In fact, the answer is yes to the point where y'all should be embarrassed, to be frank with you. Some of these men should be embarrassed of the non-black women that y'all be dealing with. I feel like as though we as black men in general should be a little bit embarrassed at the high rates of interracial relationships. And let's make something abundantly clear. Do y'all understand that black men have a higher rate of marital success with black women than non-black women? Y'all understand that, right? We understand that part. You understand the thing that makes a lot of black men unique and powerful, and I have to say this, is the fact that they have a black mother. We're just going to ignore that. Y'all really going to sit up here and act like that's not the case? Tupac said, you got your name and your game. What did he say? Your game from a woman and your name from a woman or something that man said. I said, man, that's real. That's real. That's real. That's so real, But beyond game, man, like, we just going to call it spade or spade. Black women be having gifts, homie. Oh, yeah. We as black people in general be having gifts. Believe it. Black women be having gifts, brother. So you miss out on that gift. That means it's not being passed. Is there a pedestalization of non-blackness with black women as it relates to white men? Clearly, the answer is yes. And it has become extremely apparent in the black wife trend, right? And all these other things. The show Scandal, when it came out, the popularity that it had with black women was incredible. Princess and the Frog, I'll never forget. And it bothers me even to this day when I think about it. Like the simple fact that Princess and the Frog, you finally got your first black Disney princess, but she had to marry Naveen. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't even get with a man who was from the same place as her, the same race, the same complexion as her. And then there was a recent one that came out. What was it? I think it was the Little Mermaid with the little black girl, and she falls in love with a little white boy. All of this is by design. All of this is by design, people. Let's not be stupid. This country know what it's doing. The entertainment business is not stupid. They were not born yesterday. They feeding y'all by spoon what they believe y'all want. And for black people, there is a large audience that wants to see or is more leaning towards interracial relationships as it relates to black people, both on the male and female side. And I'm calling both of y'all out because that relates to this video that I'm about to share with y'all. At the end of the day, and the reason I'm saying this is this: what I promote to people should be duplicatable. What I promote to my people should be something that if everyone does should lead to the long-term benefit of said people. Meaning, in layman's terms, I'm not saying that people who involve themselves in interracial relationships are the scum of the earth or somehow bad, wicked people by default. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that every black person involved in an interracial relationship is somehow failing the black community or is somehow, dealing with self-hatred and all these things, even though some of y'all is, but I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the promotion of that type of lifestyle, even if it's trending, even if it's whatever, is something that I look at with a particular side eye. You dig? They say some people don't value something until it's gone. They don't appreciate it fully till it's gone. I don't want that to be the case with y'all. You dig? So now I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I want y'all to listen to this beautiful sister explain the current situation of black women in LA. How many of y'all understand there's some beautiful women in LA, family? Some beautiful black women in LA, family. So I'm particularly concerned when women like this get on the internet and gotta express on this Sunday, excuse me, gotta express this level of feeling towards their frustration in terms of dealing with black men. Oh boy, it is frustrating. I'm gonna share my screen.
So I need to talk to y'all about something. I recently went to an event and there were about 1,000 people there. And of the couples that were there, about 95% of them were black men with non-black women. The person leading the event was a black man that was married to a white woman. I'd be lying if I said that seeing all of this at the same time was not triggering.
Beautiful young sister. You know what I'm saying? She rocking the hoops. She got the hoops. You dig? With the short little whatever you call it box cut going on. You know what I'm saying? It's a wonderful thing, man. I love to see women express their style in a way that is bold and confident, man. And she's expressing her frustration. You know what I'm saying? She was triggered by what she saw at this event. 95% though, family. I would imagine if we're talking about an event, this is a networking event. These are not unmotivated men. These are not bummy men. These are guys who are trying to do something positive and inspiring with their lives to be successful. Now, I've heard black men say things like, yo, success brings options. Success brings options. If that's how you feel, and I feel like these guys are saying little things between the lines, right? If your success means that the likelihood of you dealing with a non-black woman goes up, then brother, for lack of better words and with all due respect, I feel as though you better off in the long run not being successful. You hear me? In other words, let me put it a different way to you. What do you consider success to be? What do you consider success to be? In my opinion, the most successful people that I've ever seen in my life weren't millionaires, multimillionaires, or even business owners. Some of the most successful people that I saw, although some of them were business owners, were all people who had successful, stable families, right? People who were concerned with their legacy. Now, again, if you brothers want to believe within yourselves that building a legacy with in this case, a Caucasian woman, aka a white woman, will lead to your success ultimately. I think you brothers are realistically mistaken because, as you see, let's take for example cases such as Drake. You see, Drake has an African American father, and he went and his father goes and has a baby with a white woman, Jewish woman, and they create a Drake. Okay, no harm, no foul. But when you look at Drake and you then examine his preference, if you will, he did something very similar to his father. So if your sons reproduce what you have done, what will be the outcome, even of your wealth? Who will inherit your wealth? We already understand that non-black women have a higher rate of divorcing y'all black men who are quote unquote successful. So who becomes the beneficiary of your wealth? Do black people inherit your wealth? Do black children inherit your wealth? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Maybe you will have a light-skinned son or daughter and they will stick within the tree. They'll go and marry and date a black person. But in most instances, that's not the way it goes. And if I'm wrong, y'all enlighten me in the comment section. But hey, I went K through 12 in public school. The majority of the people who were mixed, both male and female, did not really deal with black people like that, especially when the mother was white. If I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, because usually you get, I saw cases where you have a white mother and the mother's a little bit bougie. So some of these girls who had black fathers, I didn't even know until graduation that the man was that they daddy was black. And you like, damn, I knew something was up with this girl. but she hung around all the white kids and all the white cheerleaders and was on that preppy wave. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with a girl being preppy and all of that. But when I'm looking at you and you ain't got no black friends, but your daddy black, it's a little bit funny. And then, okay, now time passing, then she go on and marry a white man. The young man who have a black father and a white mother is never seen with black people, let alone a black woman. So what is the net result of what we're talking about here? So should this black woman feel bad about being triggered by that? No, because like Gypsum said, I can feel your pain, baby. I feel your pain. You know what I'm saying? I talked about that situation from the beginning with that black woman with the white man face tattoos. And I'm like, damn, like, yo, like this is what it's coming to. It's coming to this. Let's continue.
Pretty much what the dating scene looks like overall in LA. Here are four other observations that I picked up on since moving to LA. One, it's not equal. It's not like I'm seeing a bunch of black women dating outside their race. In fact, I'm barely seeing black women dating at all.
It's worth talking about that. Listen, uh, I'm telling y'all right now, you're you're gonna start seeing I'm seeing a lot more black women dating non-black men than I have in the past. Okay. And I think it's gonna continue to go this way. But I think truthfully that a lot of black women just aren't really interested in dealing with white men because black women have in a lot of cases, a better respect of history than a lot of black men do. A lot of black women just will not deal with white men on that level. Doesn't mean they hate white men, and the same way black men not dealing with certain other races of people on that level doesn't mean that they hate them. It just means that they want to stick within their own groups of people. And when you examine the history of America, you can clearly understand that.
Two, it's gotten so bad that at this point, whenever I do see a black man that's single, the first thing that I'm asking myself is, I wonder if he dates black women. I feel like there's no love for them in LA. The fact that I know so many beautiful, talented, compassionate, evolved black women that are all feeling the same way makes no sense to me. And last,
It's unfortunate. And this is the reason why I'm making this video. It's very unfortunate that we're talking about capable, beautiful black women who ultimately should be some brother's wife, some young boy's mother, some young girl's mother, and eventually a grandmother and a beacon of culture and love and light, etc., in the community. And they're having frustration, they're having problems finding a black man to deal with, to the point where, and it's not just that, she asking herself when she see a black man that she might be interested in, she got to ask herself, is he into black women? Wow. 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 We've seen these sentiments play out online as well, too, have we not? We've seen, and I just saw some weak dude on the internet talking about black women with natural hair don't look good and they can't pull it off and whoop de whoop. Like, brother, get your soft suspect behind off and away from the conversation, please, brother, because you're just making it worse. Yeah. As a young black man, the only hairstyle I ever saw my mother wear is a natural. So ain't no love. Hey, listen, ain't no question about it over here on this side. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Black is beautiful, and listen, it is what it is. The more natural, the better. You hear me? And that's really how I feel. No cap. No, all jokes aside. See, beauty and love and attraction is not all based on what the world is telling you it is. Like, I believe that real attraction is beyond what you see. It's spiritual. And there is something spiritual about a woman and her and wearing a natural. And I think that that's where you get those rich connections from. You see, even back in the day when black folks used to wear the natural, it's at a time period where, as James Brown was saying, I'm black and I'm proud. So the overall energy, the overall aura of black people at that time, by and large, was exactly that. You see what I'm saying? And everything from the way that women dressed, the way that men dressed, the hairstyles that black folks back in them days wore was a testimony to that lifestyle as well. But you also had the black men who did what? Put that hot comb, get that press, get that straightener, get that relaxer. See what I'm saying? So black people, we've been fighting against this spirit of self-rejection for a long time. And it manifests itself in different ways. And we shouldn't act stupid or ignorant to this, as if this hasn't been a play of quote unquote white supremacy throughout the Western Hemisphere. Look at what has happened in places like Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Brazil, Okay, what happened to the black population in those areas can also happen to black people in America. What do I mean by that? I mean that the impact of white supremacy, okay, and here's the thing, right? Like I don't say white supremacy to try to make white folks or whoever is non-black feel bad. I'm saying that from the perspective of black people's interpretation of what white people have in power and money and control over the entertainment, the government, etc., how that has impacted the mindset of black people. Is similar to the black doll test, where you have little black children not wanting to play with the black doll, preferring to play with the white doll, saying that the white doll is smarter because his skin is white. And this black doll is bad because he's dark and his skin is this and her hair is that. So they're bad because of that. This is the impact of quote unquote white supremacy. And so what you've seen in those places that I mentioned earlier is a lot of the women in those cultures and areas prefer to date non-black men, aka white men. Even the passport brothers have made recent videos talking about them having a difficult time dating black women in some of these South and Central American countries because of the impact of quote unquote global white supremacy. And so what has happened as a result of that is that the black people have essentially and are signing up to eradicate their own blackness from the geographical genome. Okay. Black people. Okay. This is the key. So, this idea of white supremacy and this idea of promotion of non blackness cannot be executed on a population unless that population themselves submits to that theology, to that philosophy. And unfortunately, a lot of black people are doing that. And if that were not true, trust and believe me, this black woman would not be making this video. She wouldn't. And I wouldn't be here talking about it. We have to diagnose these problems. We have to talk about this. We have to talk about it in a real way, though. Not no funny way. Not no funny way, in a real way. Let's continue.
The one right here. And I'm gonna tread lightly because I know people be in their feelings when it comes to race and all of that. But when it comes to California, yes, there are black men. But if you're a certain type of woman and you're looking for a specific type of black man, in my opinion, when we're talking about sophistication and all of that, they're not here in LA. They're just not here. And if they are here, they don't like black women. So what I'm
Okay, so I think that in addition to everything that I'm saying, right, I think that there's also an over an overgeneralization of this narrative as well too, because I know that there are a lot of black men who are sophisticated, etc., like high earning black men, whatever, sophisticated, etc., who are looking specifically for black women to marry. Okay, we're not going to ignore that. But what she's saying, there still is some truth behind it because it does seem a lot of times that black men with that type of upward mobility like to champion around their non-black woman as if she's a trophy. And I think it's irritating to a lot of women. And it's irritating to a lot of men as well, too. I'm just going to be honest. It can become that. Now, is she over exaggerating? I don't know. Maybe she is. Maybe she's not. Maybe, just maybe, some of these women are not giving the men what they need to make them feel that they are the best option for them. I think that plays a role in it as well, too. I think that unfortunately, a lot of women do not listen to the things that men are saying that they want in relationships. So a lot of men automatically, when they see a black woman, think of a black woman a certain way. They automatically think she's going to be disagreeable. They think she's going to be a headache. They think she's going to be overly materialistic. They think she's going to have all these issues, and they think that immediately on sight. So we are kind of fighting against our own stereotypical viewpoints of each other. That does play a role in why a lot of black people are having issues in terms of dating one another.
So her comment definitely is on point. As far as there being no black men. Now, when you go to the East Coast, that's where you can find a black man of sophistication, that has a great job and is doing well for himself and is not wearing skinny jeans. But LA, whew, honey, the black men out here, some of them, honestly, they really just don't like black women.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So listen, y'all see what is saying this. You see what's being said here. I need y'all to understand something. I need y'all to understand that women who are pro interracial relationships, pro divestment, etc., are going to look at these videos and use them as ammunition to say, listen, sister, this is why you need to give up on the black man. Because even the idea or the notion or the belief that you're going to be able to find one, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. It's like hunting for a unicorn. These are the narratives that these women are going to say when we know the reality is very different. We know that over the course of the last 10 to 15 years, black men have improved as a whole in terms of what? The rates of literacy have gone up. The income has gone up. The rates of black men going to jail, etc., have gone down. So I can tell you as a black man that black men, there are a lot of upward mobility black men who are doing well in California. You hear me? Oh, yeah, in California in a real way. But I would be lying if I said a lot of these brothers don't have that white supremacist philosophy running through their mind from time to time. And it becomes evident in the way that they conduct themselves and who they choose to date and or marry. As they say, options, what? Success bring options, right? Temptation, temptation, temptation. But you got to be strong, man. I told y'all from the beginning, the number one rule of being a man is accountability, man. It's not the black woman's job to see to it that the black community remains strong. Nah, but it's the black man's job. It's the black man's job to make sure your children, your future generations are educated, have outlets and things that can lead their lives to a positive destination. It's not a white man's job. It's not a black woman's job. It's a black man's job. It's your job. It's my job. It's our job. You hear me? So I don't want to hear none of this weak talk that y'all. And this is the thing that bothers me, man. Social media is an interesting place, but it's also a kind of a weak place, to be frank with you. I hear a lot of guys, and I have to say this because if I don't, I'm being less than solid. I feel as though a lot of guys get on social media and it's like people change. Like, these people are saying things to sound PC or to make things seem like something that is not. Nah, brother, this is the fight for our lives. We are in the fight for our lives. And anything less than an acknowledgement of that is you not being real, is you not being honest. So I feel as though when you realize what's really going on in our communities, that you need to move as such, because a soldier who don't realize the danger that he's in and continue to act foolishly or don't acknowledge the threat or the danger is going to basically be destroyed. And by the time you realize that you're being destroyed, it's going to be too late because you're already too far caught up in that trap. So it's very important for the black man, in my opinion, to exercise wisdom in everything that he chooses to do with himself, including who he chooses to date and or marry. It's critical. It's critical. This is the one thing I wish I would have told some of my young cousins and my young people earlier in life. You know what I'm saying? When I started to see them have these weird mentalities towards black women or their promotion of non-black women, to the point where these young men who got their whole futures ahead of them is looking at this woman who clearly is not worthy of his love and or attention. She's just clearly not worthy. And it's like, yo, brother, why are you even looking at that as an option? But I can understand why, because some of these brothers grow up in tumultuous situations and they come from bad situations. They grew up fighting their sisters every damn day. They grew up fighting their mama and hearing their mama talk crazy to them and put them down. So when they become old enough to realize, and when they become old enough to get out there in this world and get a taste and a feel for what femininity from other races feels like, and they can see and feel that this is not what they are used to experiencing with their own group of women, they start to associate pain and anger and frustration and difficulty with women of their own reflection. I can see why some of you brothers would choose to do that. But you in your reality, like you in your mind, you gotta have faith. This is where faith comes into play. And this is where reality and realness comes into play, is that you cannot hold every black woman accountable for the things and the failures and the shortcomings of the women that were around you when you grew up. You can't even hold every black woman or black woman in general accountable for the things that your ex-girlfriend may have done to you, or the girl that you're currently dealing with is doing to you. No, you got to have more confidence and self-respect and self-worth and self-awareness and strategic planning, etc., to understand how to move, where you need to position yourself. You see, these women are saying, look, You notice the black woman was complaining, but in her complaint, she still had a solution. She was still saying, look, if y'all really want to know where they at, I think they over here on the East Coast. I think you can find the ones that you're looking for down south. That's what I think. You see what I'm saying? So in the midst of her complaint, she was still bringing forth what? A solution. So why aren't black men doing the same thing? Why can't black men say, look, okay, if y'all brothers, if you feel like going down south, or excuse me, going in LA, you know, I'm just saying for theoretically, hypothetically speaking, you know, the majority of the black women are whatever, XYZ negative thing that you don't like. Okay, brother, let me point you over here where there are black women who got what you want. Or better yet, you know what? I got a niece. I got a cousin. I got somebody that I might be able to point you. I might be able to plug you in over here, or this might be a good person for you. See, this is what people of other communities do. Indians do it all the time. People of all communities do that. I got a nephew. I got a niece. I want you to meet her, etc. You see what I'm saying? This is how it goes for real, man. And usually the recommendations, those will be the right ones. Because if someone that you respect recommends you to someone, it's probably a good thing. Fam. You're not going to get no excuses over here. You're not going to get no weakness over here. I don't play that, because that's the way to your demise and destruction in every area of life, in professionally, relationship wise, in every way. This is what I'm about. Urban Flow Network, man. Hey, I'm bringing nothing but pure energy and power all 2024 and beyond. I'm taking life by whatever I got to grab it by, and we running with it. You see what I'm saying? We rolling with it. We doing what we have to do with it with no fear. Because why? Because our ancestors been through much harder times than what we today have to go through. And for your ancestors and my ancestors to go what they went through to get your beautiful black behind here means that you got somewhere deep inside you the grit and the determination to do any damn thing that you choose to put your mind to. It's just a matter of what do you want and what you're going to be willing to go through to get what you want. Because if you'll do it for the dollar bill. You hear me? You'll do it for the dollar bill. You'll do it. Damn, I wish I had some dollars around here. Oh, you'll do it for the Franklin. You'll do it for this white man. You'll do it for this. For this right here. Damn, I can't even get it. Hold up. For this right here. For this right here. You brothers will go through hell and high water for a piece of paper with a white man face on it. But you won't go through nothing to try to find the right black woman for you. This is what you're telling me? This is what some of y'all are trying to convince me to believe? You got so much negativity going through your mind that you can't even align yourself with success, because success is a thought before it ever is an action. You hear me? You got to prepare yourself for success long before you ever become successful at that thing. It's what I want to encourage y'all to do. I'm not over here simping or telling you to, deal with some raggedy, ratchet, whatever type situation. Hell nah, brother. Hell nah. Y'all, I ain't never done that on this channel. But what I am telling you to do is bite down on what you believe. You hear me? I am telling you to be strong in what you believe and what you know. And if that involves you being with a woman of another race, then, hey, man, salute to you. I wish you nothing but the best in that. But come on now. Hey, fam, like, share, subscribe, comment below. Tell me what y'all think on this topic of discussion. All right, till we chat again, it's Urban Flow Network, and I'm checking out. Deuces.